We bought our first touchless faucet and it has arrived. So excited I can open this thing up. So here's the touchless faucet all opened up. Instruction manual. Step-by-step instructions. Looks like it has some really nice pictures and I appreciate that a lot. I like a good picture to help me. That's great. So you've got the water supply lines here, faucet, beautiful handle, nice long curving neck, got the attached hardware, little battery pack, and the weight to pull down the hose. We've got the sprayer attachment. Looks really nice. One thing I'm really excited about, and we'll have to install it to find out, is that it looked like the hardware for the touchless faucet could be tucked up out of the way under the sink, and I really like that. The competitors, you had to leave the hardware just sitting on the floor in your cabinet, and I didn't like that. This one is really compact and you can tuck it back out of the way, so I'm excited. Turn the water to your house all the way off. To get started, we're going to prep the sink area with a towel, our instructions, a few tools, get everything cleared out. Next step is to remove this nut under the sink that holds your old faucet on. I used some channel locks to get that started, and then it just came off by hand. After making all the disconnections, I'm able to work this nut all the way down. With the nut below removed, I can take out the old faucet. So on the new unit, first gonna have to take off these parts and keep track of them. This is the nut and the washers to hold the new unit to the countertop. So they provide a diagram and it looks like they have a seal ring. I'm gonna put that on first, and that's gonna tuck up inside here. Fits pretty snugly. You can see that seal ring seated inside of there. So they provide two spacers, one above here and one below, above and below the counter. I've seen plumbers install these without the spacer for that look of the faucet coming right out of the countertop. But if you want that spacer, it's what they recommend. Keep it cushioned and separate a little bit from your counter. And so here are the two spacers. I played around to see which one I thought fit best, and it looks like this guy, you can see, has this little tiny lip, and so it fits snugly up inside here like that. And that's going to be above the counter, so the counter will be right here below that spacer, and we'll use this other one for below the counter. So with the spacer installed there, I can take each hose and feed them down to the cabinet below. And that can go nicely just down like that. There we go. That looks pretty nice. So for this installation, I've got a pretty tight hole already in the countertops. I don't really need this spacer, so I'm not going to use that one. Instead, I'm going to put this rubber gasket here right up against the hole. And then I'm going to take the metal washer next and put it against the black rubber gasket. And then finally, I'm going to use this nut that they provide and tighten it all up against the hole. So you can see now I've got the rubber gasket, a washer, and then this nut. And I can put it around the end of the color and start to turn that. So I just spin this around, keep the rubber gasket up there. And this apparatus is here just to hold that whole faucet upright on top of your counter. Once you have that nut up on there, they provide these set screws you can tighten. Just make sure everything looks good topside before you tighten these. Little pro tip here, I found it easier to attach the hands-free apparatus to the sprayer hose first, because that way I can twist this and tighten it a lot more easily because nothing else really spins here. So with the hands-free apparatus attached to the sprayer hose, make sure the sprayer hose can travel up and down freely without being wrapped around anything, or it's not going to work out later. Next, we're going to take this black O-ring that we cut off originally and stick it up inside here. Next, we're going to take our touch-free apparatus and attach it up here. And we've got to make sure we attach with this O-ring that was provided. Don't forget that part. Put that up inside first. So now it's attached, I've got the sprayer hose nozzle coming here, the hands-free attachment, and then the rest of the sprayer hose attached there. And here's the two water supply lines. It's really helpful. They've got these supply lines labeled red for hot, blue for cold, and you want to make sure you make a note of what's hot and cold in your house before you get started. And once you know what goes where, you'll take those supply lines and attach those to your angle stops. And you use a wrench to get those snug onto the correct angle stop for hot and cold. So here are the supply lines for the faucet connected to my angle stops at my house. Now every house can be different, and hopefully yours fit on there good, but it's a standard size. That's a really nice plus of this faucet, is it came with supply lines. Super helpful. A lot of faucets you buy don't come with that, and you have to go to the home store and figure out which size and purchase those separately. And it came with some. So hopefully those work for you. They are the standard size here in the United States, and that seemed to work out no problem without having to go to the home store. Here is the battery pack for the touchless sink apparatus. And you pull this red top off. And here is the battery pack. You will need to purchase separately 4 AA batteries, and those go into each slot. And you'll see one right there. battery. Then this all goes back inside and it has this nice little cube. This is one reason why I really like this thing, because it has this very compact battery compartment, and it's very simple, but they give you a little mounting bracket so you can attach that to the back wall of your cabinet and keep this battery pack up and out of the way. And that was great for me because I like to use the cabinet for storage, and I didn't like the faucets where this was a large battery pack just dangling, sitting there in the cabinet. Once you've got your battery pack, very simply connect the red wire together, snaps together, mount the battery pack to the wall. It's connected up here at the faucet and you're good to go. The last thing I installed is this weight, and this goes on the bottom of the sprayer hose. There's a little tab here that says open. You pull up on that and it pops open, and you slip that right around the sprayer hose, click it back together. That's gonna be a weight to hold down that sprayer hose. So down under the sink, you wanna make sure that your sprayer hose is totally free and clear to travel up and down. And they provided this really nice position of gravity for your weight, and that's gonna be on the longer hose that goes all the way up to directly to the sprayer. And we'll take that weight, we'll put it right over that position, and then click, close the door, and lock it into place. And here's that weight locked into place right there on the sprayer hose. And turn the water back on to your house. So here is a touch-free faucet. It is turned on, and then I can just touch it. Water comes out, touch it again, water turns off. So here is the faucet, really beautiful design. Makes the kitchen look a lot more classy, and the touch-free portion works great. Here's a close-up of the handle. It's got hot, cold, really nice operation. I can pull it back to turn it on, and the touch-free option then works, and I can turn it off by the handle as well.